أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبك نستعين اللهم يسر ولا تؤثر الحمد لله ثم الحمد لله. We thank Allah for this day and we seek His blessings and salutations upon our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You are welcome to Juf Media, our cherry viewers. Today we are going to talk about a very important thing in Islam, which is Islam and the Arabic language, as narrated in the Holy Quran. بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أنزلناه قرآنا عربيا لعلكم تعقلون. It is stated in the Holy Book of Quran that Allah has revealed the Quran in the Arabic language. So today we are joined by our Sheikh, CD Muhammad Radwan As-Sabti. Sheikh, you are welcome to Juf Media.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me here.
Naam, Alhamdulillah. Sheikh, for the benefit of our viewers, who is Sheikh Muhammad Radwan?
Muhammad Redwan, as you can see, Sabti is the son of Sabti. My late father, may Allah have mercy on him, and my mother, may Allah prolong her life, Rahma. Mostly people see that in my name, Muhammad Redwan Rahma Sabti.
No.
And I have studied Arabic language, petty of it from here and there, but then officially studied Arabic language from the University of Ghana, as I doubled that with psychology. I had the scholarship, government scholarship, to also further in the Arabic language, the year abroad scholarship as it is known in Egypt. And I studied in the University of Ain Shams, Jamiat Ain Shams in Cairo. During the time also, I took advantage to learn some Arabic as well from Markaz Nil. It is an institution for teaching Arabic for non-natives of the language. I studied there as well, and as well benefited from a lot of the Azhariyun. I benefited a lot from them, companionship with them. And then also coming back, I've also continued doing a lot of studies and also decided to open the channel, the Mr. Red Arabic. So I'm the same person, Mr. Red Arabic, that has been teaching the bit that I know to the public since knowing the benefit of the language. I think this bit of it will make it up, inshallah.
Now, mashallah, mashallah. Sayyidi, coming from the Arabic part, how significant is the Arabic language in the religion of Allah, which is Islam?
Now, thank you for this question. A weighty one to start with. It is quite unfortunate the era that we find ourselves in. The era has witnessed not people who are not students, but people who are students denigrating the essence of Arabic language in Islam. People who are students of Islamic knowledge, Sharia, they themselves are the ones who repeatedly say that knowing Arabic is not knowing Islam. They throw that out in a manner that is quite unfortunate. And inshallah, I'm going to, in a few minutes, display why that is something very sad to witness. In that same line, also highlighting the essence of the language. In the science of Islam, particularly the Ilm al-Mantiq, which is known to be one of the sciences of the Arabic language, we have what we call al-mafhum and we have what we call al-misdaq. So when we say something is the mafhum, the picture that you draw in your mind, as-suhur az-zihniya, the picture, the image of anything. The moment I tell you a phone, a car, that image that comes into your mind is what we call the al-mafhum. And then we have the al-misdaq, which is the actual thing that is available in your face. So when I say a car, you are imagining something. That then is called the mafhum. And when you see a car physically, that then is called the misdaq of the mafhum. In that line, scholars have categorized things into some meanings. They have what we call the kulli and they have what we call the juz'i. Sometimes some of them of whom, when it comes upon your mind, the moment I mention something, an image comes into your mind. This image applies to a lot of things. So when I say a car, it applies to Benz, it applies to Toyota, it applies to all these cars. But there are certain things, the moment you mention it, the mafhum has just one misdaq.
No.
That one is what we call the juz'i. That's what we call the juz'i of the what we are coming to. So when something is juz'i, it means that it is one. The moment we mention it, one image comes into your mind.
No.
We look into the Quran. I think you've hinted on some verse that inshallah we will be talking about in our talk as well.
Yeah.
When you look in the Quran, the word Quran itself has the meaning of a verbal noun, or what we call the gerund. Gerund is when you have a verb, you form a noun from it. So zahaba al-zahab, kharaja al-khuruj.
No.
Likewise, when we have qara'a, he read. Reading, we can have qira'a, then we can have Quran.
No.
So Quran is a gerund of the qara'a, which means reading. That is what we find in the Quran. Inna alayna jam'ahu wa Qur'ana.
No.
Gathering it is upon us, and as well, reading it is upon us. فَإِذَا قَرَأْنَاهُ, if we read it, فَاتَّبِعْ قُرْآنَ, when we read it, follow its recitation. So Quran here, in the Quran, is just the verbal noun, not the material, the book that we have in our face.
No.
So when we look at the Quran, that is the verbal noun. Also, Quran comes into we see the word Quran coming for its meaning, which is the juz'i. The moment it is mentioned, that book, particular book, comes into your mind.
Yeah.
In the Quran as well, we have inna hadha al-Quran yahdi lillati hiya aqwam. Inna hadha al-Quran. The moment you say inna hadha al-Quran, you are not looking for any other material. We know that it is that particular book that we are talking about. So you find that al-Quran here, the moment it is mentioned, the mafhum matches with one misdaq. It goes with one material, which is the Quran. But I want us to look at certain verses here to draw or to highlight the importance of the Arabic language to the Quran. The verse that you mentioned from Surah Yusuf, and as well, I think from other chapters, the same kind of verse came. We will look at them one after the other, and we would, from the foundation that I've laid, try to understand how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give credence to the Arabic language. Look at the verse, Inna anzalnahu Qur'anan Arabiyan la'allakum ta'qilun. Qur'anan here is indefinite. For the students of Arabic language, they know that when a word comes with tanween, it is indefinite. That is the equivalent of a in English. So we say a boy, a book. It's indefinite. And then when it comes with alif and lam, as we have in the Inna hazal Qur'an, that means de. It makes it specific. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says here, Inna anzalnahu Qur'anan Arabiyan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala strips the Quran of its definiteness. So he makes it indefinite. But why does Allah make it indefinite? So that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will describe it for us. When the thing is definite, you don't describe it. When it is definite, you give a condition of it. So we have a qaida in Lugha where we say Al-Jumal ba'da al-nakirat sifat wal-Jumal ba'da al-ahwal ba'da al-ma'arif ahwal. So the qaida Al-Jumal ba'da al-nakirat al-mahdha, that is how it's supposed to be. Al-Jumal ba'da al-nakirat al-mahdha sifat wal-Jumal ba'da al-ma'arif ahwal. Sentences that comes after indefinite words. These sentences are adjectives to the indefinite word. And also sentences that comes after definite words, they are ahwal, conditions. They describe its condition. So when a word is indefinite, the thing that comes after it is to describe it for you so that you can identify it. So the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he says inna anzalnahu, he didn't say al-Quran al-Arabiya. He says inna anzalnahu Qur'anan, indefinite. A Quran. Okay, how do I know which Quran? We need an adjective. Then the adjective Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings is Arabiyan.
نعم
Inna anzalnahu Qur'anan Arabiyan. We've reviewed it as a Quran, an Arabic one, an Arabic Quran. So that
نعم
is the adjective Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives it. And before that, let's pay attention to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala emphasizing it. Inna. Inna is made up of inna and nahnu. Indeed,
نعم
we. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala emphasizes that. We see again, وَكَذَلِكَ أَنزَلْنَاهُ قُرْآنًا عَرَبِيًّا. The same concept, indefinite and the adjective being Arabiya.
عربية
Quran and
نعم
Arabian غير ذي عوج. An Arabic Quran that has no crookedness. We have again Kitabun Fussilat Ayatuhu Quranan Arabiyan.
نعم
Now, as I'm saying all this, I want us to put to our mind, let's bring to our close front memory here, all those
نعم
who have been saying knowing Arabic is not knowing Islam, those who
نعم
throw those kind of denigrating words of the Arabic language. As I'm mentioning this, let's try to do istihdar of their statements as we listen to the ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah
نعم
subhanahu wa ta'ala says again, وَكَذَلِكَ أَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْكَ قُرْآنًا عَرَبِيًّا.
نعم
All these many verses describing the Quran as Arabiya. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could have just said, وَكَذَلِكَ أَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْكَ الْقُرْآنِ.
نعم
We all know the Al-Quran. When it comes with Alif and Lam, we all know what we are talking about here. So there
نعم
is, but Allah strips it of that Alamiya, as they will say, is being proper now. Allah strips it off and He makes it Quranan. Now, when He makes it Quranan like this, it matches with the mafhum kulli. As I said, when we say something is mafhum kulli, it applies
نعم
to a lot of other things. So you need to now describe it to set it aside. So
نعم
when I say Quran, any material that is read, every book is Quran because it is
نعم
also read. Then Allah
نعم
keeps describing it as Inna ja'alnahu Qur'anan Arabiyyan. Verses keep on like that. In other verses, we see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describing the Quran with the language that it was brought in, where He says bilisanin Arabiyyin mubin, with a plain Arabic tongue. And so at this point, I would like to chip in a note. The
نعم
Arabs and us, all of us, we study Arabic language. The Arabic language needed for understanding Islam, ourselves and the Arabs, we are the same in that regard. We all study it. It's not like they are Arabs, so they know it already. They speak their pidgin language, which is not the Arabic being spoken about. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says here, bilisanin Arabiyyin mubin, with a plain Arabic language, those kind of pidgin street Arabic, that doesn't come in here. Allah still gives it, the Arabic language, its relationship with the Quran, a lot of credence. It says, وَهَذَا كِتَابٌ مُصَدِّقٌ لِسَانًا عَرَبِيًّا. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that, describes it again. Allah
نعم
subhanahu wa ta'ala describes it again with the Arabic tongue, plain Arabic tongue.
نعم
Now, when we look at this, the Quran basically is in Arabic language. So
نعم
originally one needs to learn the Arabic language so that they understand the Quran, so that they understand the Hadith. From there, the conversation could have even ended.
نعم
But particularly today, that we have a lot of people that are also going on the other side and throwing dashes. What is happening to us today is that we are facing a
نعم
lot of challenges in the religion. On the hindsight, we are not really paying attention, but it emanates from our weakness in Arabic language. And of course, there is a lot of scholars have spoken on this angle, and inshallah, we would be seeing their statements.
نعم
When gradually we weaken ourselves in the Arabic language, what happens is that the Quran as a book is Allah's words, Kalamullah,
نعم
al-munazzalu ala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam al-muta'abbadu bihi. It is the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that has been sent to the Prophet Muhammad. And the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most proficient, most eloquent. And of course, when Allah speaks, it demands us to think deep to be able to understand the language very well. Example of that, example of that is when in our settings, kings, they speak, when a king speaks, or when even you have an elderly in the house, they have this kind of conversation, these words that they say. You need to ask them so that they will show you, oh, when I say this, it means this. When I say this, it means this.
نعم
When this is said, it means this situation. These
نعم
are humans who have experience in life. So Allah
نعم
subhanahu wa ta'ala being the creation, we having his words is an honor for us to have the words in our hands. And also the words of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has also told us that in a narration, أو كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم أنا أفصح العرب بيد أني قريشي, or as there are other statements in the Hadith Sahih where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that utitu jawami al-kalim, when he says that fuddiltu ala al-anbiya bi sittin, I've been preferred over other prophets with 6 things. The first thing he mentions is utitu jawami al-kalim, I've been given the quintessential fold of words. And when I say
نعم
something, it means a lot of things. So
الله
when we have this material in our hands and we
نعم
denigrate the language through which we can understand the material that we have in our hands, what happens to us is like this. You know, the translator will come in, like right now, I will translate the material for you. You would
نعم
understand what I've translated, but translation is you, what you've understood, you convey it with your strength in language.
نعم
Your strength in language is weak in the first place. The
نعم
language you are using to translate the Quran itself is also weak. English language comes nowhere in comparison to Arabic language. As it
عربي
is
نعم
said by other people, the number of vocabularies in English is about 600,000, and Arabic language has up to 12 million, 4 million vocabularies. So it will be
الله
hard for you to be able to convey it with English language. And so what
نعم
happens, as I myself am a translator, what
نعم
happens is that when you translate a document, you attach it with the original because translation alone cannot stand. And
نعم
also when you go to the court, I've had that experience once translating for an Arab accused in a court. I had they need to put you there for you to swear that whatever you translate is true, because translation cannot just be outrightly accepted like that. You need to always
نعم
affirm it, stamp it, follow it up, assure that it is accurate. So when you pick translation, you realize that they are using different words here and there. Example of it is in Surah Al-Duha, you have the Prophet being described, you have the Prophet ﷺ being described as Da'lan.
نعم
وَوَجَدَكَ ضَالًّا فَهَدَى.
نعم
Da'lan, the word Da'lan, basically, you would say that it means lost. So when you look in غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين,
نعم
ضالين is the plural of dal, and ضالين means lost, those who are lost. So when you pick the same meaning and you come to or you come to وَوَجَدَكَ ضَالًّا فَهَدَى, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala found you lost and he guided you. You are
نعم
tempted to ask, at what point in the Prophet's life was he lost? Because
نعم
when he was small, we are told his heart was ripped open and cleaned.
مهم.
And when you are small, actually, you are not a mukallaf. You don't have any burden. You are not responsible for anything. So, and when he grew as well,
نعم سيدي
uh,
you can continue
Assalamu alaikum. Now,
وعليكم السلام you
I
can
think
continue
there was some network disruption.
yeah but you can
Okay.
continue
So, as I was saying, making an
نعم
example with the word ضالا,
دعاء
ووجدك
نعم
ضالا فهدى. The ضال بمعنى lost, we see in Surah Al-Fatiha being the plural of ضالين, the plural being ضالين. So
نعم
you pick that meaning and you bring it here, and you say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala found the prophet lost and he guided him. If the meaning of lost matches with that غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين, you see
نعم
it doesn't hold. You can't put the prophet in that box. So you need to know the meaning of the word here, know the meanings that it conveys, because it's not just one word. I
نعم
was just this weekend in madrasa, I was teaching the students, and now,
نعم
so
سيدي
so during the weekends, as I was saying, I was teaching the students, and I mentioned that the definite article, very fresh students, beginner students. I taught them the definite article, which
Naam.
is the al, and the indefinite article, which is the tanween. And right about when we were closing, one of the students is from Burkina. He asked me if the alhamdu and hamdun is the same. What is he trying to do? He's trying to apply the definite article al that I said here, which means
Naam.
there. But let's look at it. If you apply the definite article, the meaning of the definite article, which is there here, you find it not applying, because you can't say the praise is due to Allah.
Naam.
Everything, all the meaning that we give it is, we say all praise is due Allah. And all
Naam.
praise is for Allah. So the al here doesn't mean there. That
There.
I taught them as beginner students. So it means that you need to go further to learn other meanings of al in Arabic language, which are a lot. There are other meanings of al that comes to mean kullu. Yani it has the meaning of istighraq. It encompasses everything. So
Naam.
it means that when we talk about Islam, not just knowing Arabic language as we have it now, because the Arabic
Naam.
language that we know now on the streets and in madaris, you find people knowing Arabic in the cloth of knowing Arabic. That is not knowing Arabic that we need for Shariat al-Islam.
Naam.
We need to have even further. It is unfortunate that the little that we have, still we find people saying it is not important, it's not key. It's, even though we even need more of that to be able to
More.
relate to the Quran.
Naam.
Every difference you find in understanding, every khilaf, everything you find, the root of it comes to Arabic language.
Naam.
Any differences you find, it comes to Arabic language.
Naam.
If scholars were supposed to be choose based on Arabic language, or if the population, a lot of us knew Arabic language, the forgive me for this words, the misbehaving of a lot of scholars will stop.
Naam.
A lot of scholars in quote will stop
Naam.
if a lot of us knew Arabic language. So what
Naam.
happened when, what even motivated me to be teaching this Arabic language is from this thing, because sometimes
Naam.
you'll be sitting, somebody in the cloth of scholars will be saying something that is a hadith, but
Naam.
explaining his own feeling. Somebody will be
Allah.
quoting a verse and explaining
Naam.
his feeling. You
Naam.
feel it because you know Arabic language. You want the other person to feel it so that both of you would disregard this person, but the other person doesn't
Naam.
know. So he
Naam.
takes the words of the scholar for like that, for the face of it. My junior brother had an experience like this. He was in a masjid when the scholar was preaching, and he mentioned the Quran having bayinat in it.
Naam.
And the bayinat, we explain it as bayane bayane. Meanwhile, the bayinat there is supposed to be proofs
Naam.
by bayane, but not stories, the way he was throwing it. So my
Naam.
brother, who knew Arabic then, had to approach him to tell him that this is not the meaning. The
Naam.
unfortunate thing is when you correct such a person, they
Naam.
fail to accept the correction. Now, if we should pay attention to the foundation that I laid, we realize that
Naam.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself appreciate or give credence to the Quran being Arabic a lot. If we
Naam.
are to be
Naam.
true to ourselves, the moment you don't have Arabic that much, you stay away from being the one to be explaining the Quran, being the one to be explaining the tafsir and all that. You would stay away
Naam.
from it.
Naam.
And so basically, I think with this, we understand the essence and the importance of the Arabic language. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has affirmed it. So even from this portion, an advice to myself and other students like me, kindly
Naam.
stay away from disregarding the Arabic language, inshallah.
Naam.
Naam, Said.
Naam. MashaAllah. Sayyidi. Now, thank you for educating us on the significance of the Arabic language. Then the next thing is that, can someone be a good Muslim without learning the Arabic language or understanding the Arabic language?
Now, as for being a good Muslim, you know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whatever he does, it has the hikmah, the best hikmah that you can have. So as for being a Muslim, being a religion, practicing your, as I was saying, the religion, as being a Muslim, without knowing Arabic language, you can still be a Muslim. The only thing is you need to be able to recite the Quran in
No.
Arabic because of
No.
salat. You need to learn so that you can pray, you can do those ibadat with it. You need that much to be able to just to be Muslim. So anyone at all can be a Muslim. The Prophet ﷺ was sent as rahmatan lil alamin for the whole
No.
humankind. And
But
the
Sheikh,
religion of Nam.
Sheikh, please. My question is that can someone be a good Muslim, not just a
Yeah.
Muslim? Yeah.
Yes.
Can someone be a
So
good Muslim? Because it is mandatory on us to learn the
Nam.
Quran or to learn.
Looking at your question,
No.
you were saying that person being a good Muslim.
Good Muslim, yeah.
So let's draw the thin line between being a good Muslim and
No.
being a scholar.
No.
So being a good Muslim, a Muslim, as we know, the pillars of Islam, when you look
No.
at them, the Shahada, your Salat, all those ibadat, the much that they require from you is that you are able to do the part of worship that's supposed to be recited in Arabic with, and also at least the basic ones that you can understand your azkar with and those basic stuff. You must be able to know that. But when you talk about understanding Arabic in the sense that
I want
you
to check.
must
Now, Saidi.
now, okay. So as I was saying, when you talk
No.
about Arabic language as knowing the basis, knowing the meaning of astaghfirullah, your azkar, those basic ones,
No.
to some extent, I would take that as just not even knowing Arabic language, but just having some basic tips on your hand, because everybody knows the meaning of astaghfirullah, everybody. But to become, if being a good Muslim, one can basically be doing kind things and stuff. Good Muslim will be at the end of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala judging. But when
No.
you want to, you yourself, at our end, if you want to enjoy whatever you are doing, you need to understand Arabic language, in the sense that when you are doing azkar, when you say subhanallah, what you feel as somebody that doesn't know Arabic language is different from what somebody who knows Arabic language feels. Taking all things to be equal, your iman level being equal. When the person who knows Arabic says subhanallah, and you also say subhanallah, when you say la ilaha illallah, and the person who knows Arabic says la ilaha illallah, what they feel is different. Because the one who is saying la ilaha illallah, knowing Arabic, knows that la here is la an-nafiya lil jins, ilaha is ismu la an-nafiya lil jins, and there is a hidden meaning there that you that does not know Arabic, you can't have it. You just pick the translation of it and you suffice with that. So if you want to be a good Muslim at the level that good Muslim meaning you enjoying your religion, having the most of it, we are not judging anybody's taqwa here and the levels of Jannah and all that here. We are just talking about you personally enjoying the religion and feeling whatever you are doing. You must know Arabic language, at least to the level that you can appreciate some basic meanings.
Okay.
So it becomes a must at that point. If you don't have it at all, anybody also, you are at risk. Anybody can play with you. That is the danger that lies with you not knowing. Anybody comes in and plays with your iman however they want, which is also very unfortunate. So I think that at least to the basic level is good.
Now, check this, because in Islam it is mandatory on every Muslim to learn, and also learning in Islam basically depends much on the language in which you are going to learn.
Exactly.
So still I need some explanations. So Sheikh, you said
now. Yes, I was saying you need more clarification.
Yes, because can I learn my religion, that's Islam, without understanding the language in which the religion is being conveyed to me?
Yes. So you see, the point of learning, as we are saying, we must learn
نعم
from the cradle to the grave, as the Prophet ﷺ says.
نعم صلى الله
And
عليه
as
وسلم.
for the point that I'm drawing is that
نعم
as a Muslim, we have two judgments that we are doing here. When we talk about being a
نعم
good Muslim, you let's say right now, as we are talking, we judge that, and there is a statement from Sheikh Ibrahim Inyas, Sheikh al-Islam al-Hajj Ibrahim Inyas al-Qawlahi. There is a
نعم
statement from him that just relates to what you just said right now. There is this popular interview of his which he did in Saudi when he went for Hajj. It was in those days of colonialism,
نعم
and he says something in this line. But then what he said, I will clarify it. What he said, let me just pick the last line of what he said. He
نعم
said, والاستعمار جلسوا في تلك الأقطار 100 سنة أو أكثر وهم يحرمون تعلم اللغة العربية وهم يحرمون تعلم هذه اللغة لأنهم أدركوا حقيقة. This استعمار, the colonialists, they have taken charge of Africa and these places that Arabic is not our mother tongue. What are they doing? They are preventing people from learning the Arabic language. You know, in the era,
نعم
he was also Pan-Africanist and fighting for freedom. And then he
نعم
says, لأنهم أدركوا حقيقة, because they've known in reality أن الإنسان لا يصلح. This comes to our point that a person is not right أن يكون مسلما حقيقيا, to be an actual Muslim, to be a good Muslim in the wordings that you give, إلا بعد أن يعرف العربية والقرآن, except after the person knowing Arabic language and Quran. So Sheikh al-Islam al-Hajj Ibrahim Inyas al-Qawlahi, he says something in the meaning that you are saying, but I want to clarify his words. This لا يصلح أن يكون مسلما حقيقيا is not a judgment of wherever you go in the hereafter.
نعم
So what Sheikh is saying here, لا يصلح أن يكون مسلما حقيقيا, he's saying it to mean that حقيقيا here is in the meaning that at any time anybody can come in and tell you this is wrong, this is right, and throw you here and there. Example
نعم
of that, in the University of Ghana, sometime I think there was a lecturer in religion, a Muslim lady, who said there is no hijab in the Quran.
نعم
Hijab, what did she refer to? The thing that the ladies used to cover their hair, and a
نعم
part of it is their bosom. She said it's
نعم
not mentioned in the Quran.
نعم
And when the challenge is thrown, what happens? Everybody hastens to the Quran to go and search for hijab
نعم
for women, where Allah has prescribed hijab for women. And
نعم
unfortunately, you won't find that. Hijab in the Quran, where you find it, it means curtain. Now, what is the problem here? The problem is that the word for this thing they put on their head is not hijab.
نعم
Hijab is a general word that encompasses everything that covers, is hijab.
نعم نعم
But the word for this thing they put on their head is khimar.
okay
And the Quran mentions the khimar. ليضربن بحمرهن على جيوبهن.
نعم
So khumr here is the plural of the khimar. So the hijab, as she was saying, using the word hijab is wrong. What
نعم
happens? Weaker Muslims listen to, not weaker Muslims, Afwan, Muslims that do not know Arabic language, listen to her and they are like, so it's nowhere in the Quran. But when you point out to them, no, you are searching for the right thing with the wrong meaning, with the wrong word. And so you didn't find it. So this is what brings us to good Muslim, bad Muslim. We don't mean a judgment of taqwa and the hereafter. We mean that the good Muslim here is said that he's affirmed. You can't push him. In that manner, you need the Arabic language. La Buddha min lugat al-Arabiya. La Buddha. Definitely you must have it. But in the face of good Muslim being taqwa and all that, that is on the side. You can even be in the bush and be that kind of good Muslim. But the side we're talking about, you need the Arabic language, as Sheikh al-Islam has indicated in the interview. And the interview is widespread. I just transcribed it from this. No.
Okay. So Sheikh, our next question is that, is it out of ignorance for someone to think that one can be a scholar without understanding Arabic? You can be an Islamic scholar without the Arabic knowledge or understanding the Arabic language.
No. You can't be a scholar. This one I wouldn't even mince words. You can't be a scholar, an Islamic scholar without Arabic language. No. The answer is capital no. There are no confidence. That's what I was saying. People have made fun with this kind of thing. Wallahi. Because just being a basic Muslim, you need the Arabic language. And you want to be a scholar, a leader in the affair. It's never possible. This has caused that a lot of problems. You know, now we've put people at higher levels who are our face in Islam, but they do not know Arabic language, and it makes their knowledge very weak. But they are leaders, our leaders, and this has weakened us a lot. So let me just show you. I'm sitting close to my library. Let me just extend and show you something so that people will know that we don't just create these things out of the fact, because sometimes when you say these things, people feel like because you've learned Arabic language, you feel like that is what should be ahead and all that. Let's listen to some scholars what they have said. He says that in this book, I think it's quite popular. The camera can capture it. At-Tuhfatu Saniya. It's a new print that almost everybody has it now. You open to the page 4 of that book. Page 4 of that book, we read down there. It says, وَالْعُلَمَاءُ لَا يَرَوْنَ الصَّلَاةَ خَلْفَ اللَّحَنَ. Scholars don't see it right for you to pray behind somebody who makes errors.
No.
Who makes grammatical errors. Recently, there has been a videos of some scholar in quote making errors anyhow in the Quran, left and right, in the left and right. This person is still a scholar. Why should this be so? When you do not see it right for you to follow somebody who errs, who make grammatical mistakes, because they don't know it. They don't even know they've made the mistake. They don't know the extent. And I sometimes make examples for students when I'm teaching them, and I will urge every other teacher to do so. When you are teaching Arabic, try to let students know that if you make this error, this is the danger. So I say something, يَخْلُقُ اللَّهُ مَا يَشَاءُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala creates what he wants. Let's, for the purpose of knowledge, for the purpose of learning, say يَخْلُقُ اللَّهَ with fatha on the Allah, ma yasha. What meaning will we have here? The meaning now will be whatever wants, whatever creates Allah. Creates Allah. So you make Allah the creation by just giving Allah fatha. You make it the creation. And you tell me that, oh, everybody knows, so take it like that. No. It's the vowels that determine the meaning. So to be a scholar about Arabic language, that is outrightly. Let's also read again. In one of the statements of Imam al-Bayhaqi, he says, لا يقبل الرجل بنوع من العلوم. A man is not accepted with any of the sciences of Islam. Not, you can't say you are a muhaddis, you can't say you are a mufassir, you can't say you are an usuli. None is accepted from a person ما لم يزين علمه بالعربية. So long as the person does not decorate that knowledge with Arabiya, لا يقبل منه. That knowledge will not be accepted from him. And then he says that again, Jalaluddin al-Suyuti, he says in his explanation of Alfiya, said وقد اتفق العلماء على أن النحو يحتاج إليه في كل فن. Scholars have agreed, all of them, that the science of Nahu, Arabic syntax, grammar, is needed in every field in the Islamic sciences. That is needed. And then he says, min funun al-ilm, la siyama tafsir wal hadith, especially at tafsir and hadith. We need that. فَإِنَّهُ لَا يَجُوزُ لِأَحَدٍ أَنْ يَتَكَلَّمَ فِي كِتَابِ اللَّهِ. It is not allowed for anybody to speak about the Quran حَتَّى يَكُونَ مَلِيًّا بِالْعَرَبِيَّةِ, until the person is filled with Arabic language. The person knows Arabic language. لأن القرآن عربي, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keeps describing, because the Quran is Arabic. ولا تفهم مقاصده إلا بمعرفة قواعد العربية. The maqasid, the meanings of the Quran cannot be understood except with the Arabic language. And so when we say that you cannot be a scholar without Arabic language, we are not just saying that out of the fact that maybe we know a bit of it. What we know is a tiny bit of it. The Arabic language that we know is a tiny bit of it. So you are not allowed. And the statements are a lot, as the scholars have already said. Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah also has a statement, and that is widespread almost everywhere. Sometimes it's sad how people still have some kind of understandings, even though scholars all around have agreed on a particular matter. He says that, Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah as well says that, إِنَّ النَّفْسَ اللُّغَةِ الْعَرَبِيَّةِ مِنَ الدِّينِ. The Arabic language itself is from the deen. Says, وَمَعْرِفَتُهَا فَرْضٌ وَاجِبٌ. Knowing Arabic language is a fard, is wajib. Says لأن فهم الكتاب والسنة فرض, because understanding the Quran and Sunnah is fard, we must know it. And it says ولا يفهم إلا باللغة العربية. You can't understand that except through Arabic language. وما لا يتم الواجب إلا به فهو واجب. This is a قاعدة فقهية. Anything that is wajib or the past that makes it successful are also wajib. And so we realize that the statements of the scholars, all of them, they agree in that. And so for that statement, it is qat'iyan, no, you can't be a scholar without knowing Arabic language. Now, I think that answers that portion of the question, inshallah.
Sheikh, our network is disturbing our conversation.
Yeah, very bad.
Wallahi. So
if this was at dawn for here, I think now my side is stable, but mostly at dawn is very, very stable.
Okay. So you can continue now. Continue from that of Ibn Taymiyyah.
Okay. So as I said, Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah has also said that. So now you see, let me do it this way, so that our society that we live in now, we all appreciate the differences. We made a quote from Shaykh al-Islam al-Hajj Ibrahim Anyas. We're making a quote from Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, so we know that we've covered all the rows. We've covered here and Jamil. So the statement of Shaykh al-Islam al-Hajj Ibrahim Anyas, I transcribed from up. I quoted the down part of it. Let me quote the whole of it so that we appreciate what we are doing now. Shaykh al-Islam al-Hajj Ibrahim Anyas, he said that, so that before that we come to Shaykh al-Islam's quote. He says that, وَالْإِنْحِلَالِ الَّذِي نُشَاهِدُهُ فِي شَبَابِنَا لِجَهْلِهِمْ لِمَبَادِئِ دِينِهِمْ. The retrogression we are facing in our youth today is due to the fact that they are ignorant about the fundamentals of their religion. It says, وَأَهَمُّ شَيْءٍ يَقُومُ بِهِ الْمُسْلِمُ الْآنِ. The most important thing a Muslim will do now is what? هُوَ نَشْرُ اللُّغَةِ الْعَرَبِيَّةِ. هُوَ نَشْرُ اللُّغَةِ الْعَرَبِيَّةِ. Is for you to spread the Arabic language. And then he says, in countries where, or places where they are ignorant of this language. وهذه اللغة بالذات هي لغة القرآن. This language in particular is the language of the Quran. لغة التنزيل. من عرف هذه اللغة عرف الإسلام حينا. Whoever knows this language will understand Islam easily. ومن جهل هذه اللغة لا يتأتى أن يفهم الإسلام حقيقة. I transcribed it from that. Whoever is ignorant of this deen does not really understand the religion of Islam. Coming to the point of Shaykh al-Islam al-Hajj, Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, he says, إن النفس اللغة العربية من الدين. The Arabic language is part of the deen. Min here we can say the tab'id or ba'diyya, as everybody the terms go. At-tab'idiyya or at-tab'id. Min that shows that something is part of something. Min ad-din bimana juz'un min ad-din. Says wa ma'rifatuha fardun wajib, and knowing the Arabic language is a fard, is wajib. In some mazahib, fard is something different from wajibs. Other mazahib, fard and wajib is the same thing. And then he says, لأن فهم الكتاب والسنة fardun. Understanding the Quran and Sunnah is fard, is compulsory. ولا يفهم إلا باللغة العربية. You can understand these two except with Arabic language. وَمَا لَا يَتِمُ الْوَاجِبُ إِلَّا بِهِ فَهُوَ وَاجِب. So he quotes a qaida fiqhiyya that if you have something that is wajib, every little thing that adds up to the thing being successful is also wajib. So you have salat, you need your wudu, you need to know the rulings of salat, you need to know the takbir, you need to know whatever ruling you have. All of these things become wajib, so the salat will complete. So that you can understand the Quran and Sunnah, you need the Lugha Arabiya. It makes the Lugha Arabiya also wajib. You must know it. So you realize that on both sides, the Arabic language is not taken lightly, and there is no window at all for somebody to pass through to become a scholar except through Arabic language. Let me tell you what people are doing now, why people are saying these things. They are saying these things, one, because the person doesn't know the language or doesn't know it well. Two, the person wants to impose the other field that perhaps he is thinking he has excellence in on people. Or maybe just basic annoyance. The person is annoyed. And now, so let me re-mention them again.
You can continue.
Okay. So when you find somebody trying to denigrate Arabic language, I've seen practically the reasons are annoyance. The person is just annoyed by somebody who knows it and feels that you are flaunting it, or the person is ignorant of it, or the person is just, because I have people that have approached me and told me that I specialize in usul al-fiqh, usul al-din, and so I didn't specialize. I don't know Arabic that much. No, I specialize in tafsir. I specialize in hadith, and so I didn't really learn the Arabic language. You see, when you put this to the statements of Imam Sayuti and them, you realize that this statement doesn't really make sense. Because to become a mufassir, tafsir, you should know Arabic very well. So you can't say you specialize in tafsir and so you don't know Arabic. You can't tell us you specialize in hadith and so you don't know. So it's neither here nor there. There is no window for you to escape through. Let's not allow this to prosper. People who don't know Arabic flaunting it and flaunting in our face. Arabic is not the most important. Is the tafsir? Is the akida? There is none of this without Arabic language. If we are able to stop these people doing this kind of campaign, I tell you, you will find the religion becoming finer and finer. It's a report from Nafi, who was in the house of Ibn Omar. He reports that Ibn Omar used to beat his son when he makes grammatical mistakes. When he says something and he says it grammatically wrong, he will beat him. He will beat him because he might take this and err in the Quran. Now, people who are supposed to be scholars, in quote, they are making Quranic grammatical errors in Quran. When you correct them, they the Arabic, I mean, what is it? You are every day what? No, that is the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you Quran and Arabiyan, bilisanin Arabiyyin mubin. And you on the side are watching the Arabic. So we come face to face fighting Allah in a sense, but we do not see it well because we've been, and let's be fair to ourselves, a lot of the scholars in quote today are just in the market. They are just trading. They are doing business with the people, and it's quite sad. So no, you can't be a scholar without knowing Arabic language. It's a flat no.
Now, so Sheikh, coming from the Arabic background, what are you people also doing to help the masses on such mistakes? Because people are being called scholars whilst they are not scholars. So what are you people also doing to enlighten us that these kind of people are not Islamic scholars, so we shouldn't follow them?
Good. A very nice question. So as I said, and it's known of me that I run an Arabic channel. The schedule now. So the question that you asked about what we are doing to make people know, the most important thing we can do, as I quoted from Shaykhul Islam, is nashr hazihi al-lugha, to spread the language in the first place.
No.
There is something that people expect most of us to do, which is a dangerous path to take. They find it to be good, but it's a dangerous path to take. The part is
No.
you show up to what we are doing these days. You show up there, you play the video of the person, then in the mode of a fight, you try to
No.
point that in an S is somewhat good. It creates awareness.
No.
But from my side, what I've seen is that it's better through teaching. When I
No.
let you understand that a harf jar comes and the ism that comes after it is ism majrur, it must take kasra, and somebody
No.
tells you fillahu, fillaha, you know that this is wrong. So I have a lot of my students, sometimes they will send me a video on a WhatsApp and they will say, he said this, but according to what you taught us, isn't it supposed to be like this? One
No.
lady in those students sent me a video and she was like, at first she would think this person was a big time scholar, but one line she herself can point out about 3 mistakes that the person is making, basic mistakes. So
No.
I find that to be more satisfactory than me to approach it in the fight manner. In that
No.
manner, it is only those who are in my team that will be happy and supporting me, and you find those in the other team thinking that the thing is about sect and the
No.
beef as we see it.
No.
So the thing is, I come and play the video, I say, oh, this person is that, and the youth love that. It's part of youthful exuberance. The youth will
No.
love that and they're excited about that. But I prefer having the video and showing that if I sit with you, educate you, and show you the video and look at. Sometimes I play some of these videos in my class in madrasa. But what do? You will see the face of the person. If you know the voice, fine. So I play the thing, then I ask the students to listen and point out the mistakes.
No.
So they will listen and they'll be like, no, he said this is wrong. He said this is wrong. Then I'll say, this is a scholar. So when you are listening to them, pay attention. So through teachings, I prefer to do it through teachings than to do it through the beef manner. I'm not trying to bastardize what anybody is doing. They might also see that as that means and very helpful. But the means that I find also helpful in my direction is to try to use a means that will bring all parties along, so that at the end of the day, the benefit. So most important is for us to teach. Anybody who knows Arabic language mostly have issues with people who go out there, graduate from Azhar, Jamia Islamia, and all these universities. They come and they sit there. This is a social media era. You also have your phone, put it out, record lessons, share, make sure knowledge is going wider and it's reaching a lot of people. So through that, we can help. And then also through directly approaching these people. I have done that also, where somebody quotes something wrongly, then I approach the person. When the person quotes it wrongly, whether on a member or in a masjid doing wazi or anything, they quote it wrongly, approach the person, I let the person know, this thing you said is very dangerous, this is it. Bil hikmah. We have to do it bil hikmah wal maw'izat al hasana. So I approach the person, let you, this thing you said is very dangerous. The way you said it means this. When you get the opportunity, kindly change it. Now, when we do this 1, 2, and you don't change it, I kind of go the rough road. I can go the rough road to put a little bit of disgrace on it, said that whenever you see me around, you'll be scared to make those kind of errors. I think in that essence, we are doing it. What are you also going to do to help this campaign, not just us? What you are doing right now is part of the campaign. Now, the interviews you are doing, the videos you are trying to put out to push knowledge, that is your campaign. When people on the social media who have good intention, not just for to win, when you see lessons, not just fight, because people share fight easily. This is some jahili, they share it easily for fun. But when I post a lesson or somebody posts a lesson on Nahu, a Qaida, the person is trying to teach how properly to recite the Quran, you don't find people moving towards it. I'm using this medium to urge people, when you see lessons, listen and urge other people to also listen. That is how we can rightfully correct this. Thank you for this campaign you are doing.
And also, Sheikh, on my part, if only you are going to be available every
No,
1 week or 2 weeks. I will
no.
invite you on my platform to talk about the significance of the Arabic language in Islam,
Aywa,
being it
aywa.
in English, Arabic, or even P,
Tamam.
so that
Aywa, aywa.
it will be a reminder to Muslims and students of knowledge
Sure,
for us to take
sure,
it
sure.
very, very serious.
Sure, I think that is a very good one, and
No,
inshallah, behind the scenes we will have to make a schedule for that, find a
no,
way to arrange this thing, and that will be very helpful.
no,
We must do this campaign because the problem now where it is getting to, I'm telling. See, I have a lot of students and friends visiting me where I am here. It's a very far
no,
place. A
no,
lot of them will take the plane and come. When it's hard for me to go to masjid, very hard, sincerely, because I when I listen to errors in Quran, when you recite
no,
the Quran and you recite errors here and there, I get out of the salah, not physically, but you take me out. So
no,
I was going to the masjid, I get to the door and the imam recites Innal ladina kafaru instead of Innal ladina kafaru. Now when you're talking about you saying somebody is a kafir,
no,
when you say kafaru, to disbelieve. So innal ladina kafaru, those who have disbelieved. You are saying innal ladina kafaru, those who have said others are disbelievers. I
Allah
got to the
Akbar.
end, I had to turn to another masjid to find and see if I'll get somewhere where they are okay. Because you just can't. The moment you understand, look at the recent one that happened where the man recites, he says, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. He says, لقد the verse لقد كفر الذين قالوا إن الله ثالث ثلاث.
No,
لقد كفر الذين قالوا إن الله هو المسيح ابن مريم. These are the
no,
verses. لقد كفر الذين, those who are saying Allah is one of three, those who are saying Allah is Jesus Christ, they
no,
have disbelieved. And the man
no.
recited Astaghfirullah lazim, Astaghfirullah lazim. The man recited لقد كفر الله.
Mm.
This thing, whenever I hear it, I don't know, I get shocked. I don't know how people are able to handle this, but it's been trending a lot, and whenever I hear it, it hits my skin.
No,
Outright, we are saying that Allah has disbelieved. And he kufr and Allah, it shouldn't come out. It shouldn't, when it comes out, it should shock you, you should correct. But see, we've taken it lightly, and the person himself is taking it lightly. And this is not fun at all. They are not even for beef. We have won. It's not right. It's not fun. It should be something that his friends, his loved ones, his enemies, everybody together in telling him, be careful. Go back and sit down and look at these things very well and come back again.
no,
But it's unfortunate. So inshallah, we will try to put things, arrange things so that the campaign will go further and will be more effective, inshallah.
no. Okay. So, Sheikh, continue with our questions. The next one is, how do someone learn the Arabic language to its perfection without going to the Arabs or staying in a non-Arabic speaking country?
Good, good, good. This is also a very brilliant one and very important as well.
No,
I'm talking from experience with this one, full-time experience, because I've taught
no,
people, not out of pride, I've taught people that they've learned from me gradually and they can speak fluently. They can speak very well and they understand very well when they read, they can identify errors. So I can say practically what works. In our setting here, you don't really need the Arab environment. The Arab environment sometimes is even destructive. Sometimes some people, they know little Arabic. When they go to the Arab land, you find them even picking the Arab tongue. And I saw one scholar complaining bitterly about this. The students will come from their countries, they will come to the Arab land, and they will go back with the little Arabic they have been destroyed. So when you want to learn Arabic language, when you want to
no,
learn Arabic language to perfection,
no,
what you need is to create the environment around you. and creating an Arabic environment around you, you don't necessarily need the Arabs. Because one thing that we all must know is that when you go to the Arab land, they are not speaking the Arabic you need to learn on the street. Nobody is doing that.
No.
Even in class, your professor, Arabic professor lecturer will come to class, and he will come to class and be saying, be speaking Arabic that is pidgin. So the Arab word, Arab, is nothing. There is nothing in that.
Okay.
When they come back, most of them are speaking pidgin. When you ask them to speak classical Arabic, they are not able to. So to you that you are here, the first advantage you have is that you don't have any distractions, any other fake Arabic to affect your own. Okay. That is your first advantage. Second, you must create that environment. So you have the option of going to YouTube, finding videos, Arabic videos, lectures, cartoons, and all that, and always be playing them around as you are learning. With the learning is enough. But as you are learning Arabic language with somebody, the person is teaching you Nahu, is teaching you Qira'ah, is teaching you Balaga, and all that stuff, you must also make sure that when you are alone at home, there is nothing you are doing. Play some Arabic cartoons, play some Arabic video. In the background, let it be playing. I'm not saying understand it. Play it. Let it be there. Let it be playing. So you are there and you'll be hearing some popular one that I've been sharing around, the Juha cartoons. You'll be hearing Juha, Aina al-Mismar, Juha, Aina Keda. Let it be ringing around as you are learning, and always create your own classical Arabic environment that is not diluted by the pidgin Arabic.
No.
So when you do that, you keep hearing words, you keep hearing sentences the way it is supposed to sound, the way it's supposed to be said, and you keep learning. The unfortunate thing today is that we've become quite lazy. If you're able to push the laziness away, you become so good that even the Arabs will see you and they'll be amazed. I have a lot of my Arab friends who mostly come into my team, they appreciate, and they don't even have a problem telling you that, oh, for Arabic, you know it than me. And I challenge them, no. They will explain to you that dear Arabic, it's like this, it's like that. So to learn it to perfection, have a teacher. That is a must. Of course, you would have a teacher who will be taking you through. Have the environment. Ask the teacher for some Arabic videos that are classical, and the person will give it to you. You keep playing those videos around. You find khutbah of the Arab scholars or scholars that speak Arabic. You find khutbah here and there. Be playing them. Let it be ringing around you and questioning. What I tell my students mostly, as-su'al tarqatun ala babil ma'rifa. Question is a knock on the door of knowledge.
No.
So if you don't ask the question, you haven't knocked on the door of knowledge. Now you ask me something. The moment you ask me, a lot of things will be coming to my mind so that I share. Until you ask me, I can share, but I might not be able to share as when you've triggered it. So as I always say, question is a knock on the door of knowledge. So if we do it this way, you see how within a short time your tongue will be easier with the language and you'll be able to flow with it. And inshallah, I think when you follow this process, it will be a successful journey, inshallah.
So okay, and how do I enroll on some of your classes?
Okay, for me, I had one-on-one classes that the students started to scatter. I think it was on campus in school. Then when I was graduating students, I decided to move everything on YouTube so that now wherever they are, they can access. And so I have a lot of lessons on YouTube that anybody can go on there and start following. What I do is that because of work, how demanding the work is, I'm not able to do a lot of one-on-one classes. So I also created a WhatsApp group where I put almost every beginner in there, and I started with them afresh from a beginner book. Durus al-Lugha Arabiya, to be specific. We started from afresh. We got to a point, schedules also, we even got to book 3. Schedules also disrupted it, but inshallah we'll continue soon. So for my YouTube channel, you can get on my YouTube channel, Mr. Red Arabic. go to the playlist, find the An-Nahl al-Wadih. My lessons are always beginner lessons as at now. We've not really
Okay.
gone ahead. So if you pick the book, you find book 1 playlist, you follow it. And also, you contact me directly, said that there is a contact. When you are following the lessons, you need somebody to be asking questions. Aside
Okay.
asking on the channel, you as well need some one-on-one question, not lesson. When you have a question, you can come one-on-one and ask me, oh, I saw this somewhere. What does it mean? Somebody said this. Is this so? We keep doing that gradually, and you grow. But because of work and the demands, I'm not able to keep so much one-on-one. I think I have just about 3 people that we do one-on-one with them. And inshallah, going ahead as we've been keeping, we will keep relation. If there is any opportunity opened again on this same channel, inshallah, we'll let it know so that everybody can have access for it. Now,
Inshallah. So what are some Arabic books that you announce to students who wants to learn the Arabic language?
Jamil, in our setting here, beginner books are respective based on where you are. In Ghana, when we look at Ghana,
No.
the atmosphere we have here in Ghana demands that some beginner books in some regions that don't match here. When you pick a fresh student and you pick a book like Tuhfatu Saniya, the one I showed, it is a beginner book, Arabic grammar. But that wouldn't apply for a beginner here in Ghana. So you would want to go to books like Durus al-Lugha Arabiya. That will start with word. So because this was made specifically for people like us. So we find the name Durus al-Lugha al-Arabiya لغير الناطقين بها. Arabic lessons for non-natives. So you look at the Durus al-Lugha al-Arabiya, you go through lesson 1, book 1, book 2, book 3. I think it's up to book 4 or so. When you go through all of them, you now have the shoulders. So let me put it this way. Do Durus al-Lugha Arabiya book 1, book 2, you are good to start An-Nahl al-Wadih.
No.
Book 1 of Durus al-Lugha has been treated on my channel. It's there on my channel. And then An-Nahl al-Wadih, the book 1 has been treated completely. Let me say An-Nahl al-Wadih for primary level has been treated completely. An-Nahl al-Wadih for grammar, but you also get a lot of vocabularies, a lot of words there. An-Nahl al-Wadih is also very important. When you've done An-Nahl al-Wadih, you would also want to look at this At-Tuhfatu Saniya. It is an explanation of Ajrumiyya, a simplified one. At-Tuhfatu Saniya also strengthens your grammar. This is for the grammar and vocabularies. The Durus al-Lugha has a bit of surf when you are getting into the book 2 to 3. It has some surf also in it, morphology. For surf specifically, you would want to look at Tasrif al-Izzi. Tasrif al-Izzi. You look at any explanation of it, there are a number of explanations of it, all of them are beneficial. You learn that Tasrif al-Izzi, very small volume, but before you finish it, you benefit a lot on morphology, the science of morphology. And also try to learn that must be learned under a teacher. You can't learn that on your own. You need a teacher. After that, Tasrif al-Izzi in Sarf, you'd want to look at Lamiyatul Af'al, is also in Sarf. And this, when you go through this, of course, you'll be very good. Of course, there is the higher science, which is the Balaga. You need to crown these things you've learned with the Balaga. There's also Durus al-Balaga, I think Durus al-Balaga or Durus fil Balaga, a very simplified Balaga book that also is. When you have these materials and you're able to go through them, normally I say something funny to the students. I tell them in Ghana, when you learn At-Tuhfatu Saniya very well, or you learn Ajrumiyya very well in Ghana, you are a scholar with the definition of Ghana. But for the health of it, Ajrumiyya is very beginner, is very basic. There is very important, but there is virtually nothing in it when you compare it to other books, Qatr al-Nada and those Alfiya and other materials. So I think for the beginners, these are the materials. Trying to go up, you Qatr al-Nada and other books, inshallah.
Okay. So is the Arabic language difficult as compared to the language?
No, Arabic language. You see, there is some interesting thing I saw on Instagram. There
Right.
is a picture written on it. Arabic language is difficult, and they've cancelled the difficult, and they've written, I think, is it interesting or so? No, worth
Okay.
it, something like that. So it's not difficult. It's just a lot. Imagine the number of vocabularies I told you that it has about 12 million to 40 million vocabularies. You would
No.
want, it's an adventure. You see, imagine playing a game and it has just level 1 and 2. You play
Mm-hmm.
one, level 2, the game is over. It's not interesting. You need
No.
other levels that are difficult, and that makes the adventure, that makes you enjoy what you are doing.
No.
So Arabic language is in this line. English, everybody basically right now you speak English, you know almost everything in English. It's light. It's not easy, it's light. It's not heavy. Arabic
No.
language is deep. And the more you learn and you understand, the more you want to go more because it's adventurous. That's how it is. Imagine somebody going to climb Mountain Afajatu. Why? It's difficult. Why are you going to climb mountain? It's very difficult. It's
No.
adventurous. It's interesting.
No.
That is how Arabic language is. When you learn, mubtada is so you are told that alhamdu is coming with dhamma because it's mubtada. When you change it to this, so what I realize is any first lesson we have in grammar in class, the students are all happy. People are thanking. I didn't know these things have these meanings. It's exciting, but it's not easy per the understanding. Of course, you would have to go through, since it's worth it, you would have to go through some struggles. It's like
Yeah.
finding gold, finding any other mineral that is worth it. You go through
No.
some struggles before you reach it so that you value it. So it's not difficult, it's worth it and adventurous. Now,
Okay. So, Sheikh, what is your final words? Final words to Muslims and students who want to learn the Arabic language?
for me, I don't have anything as precious as Arabic language right now. I
Yeah.
think everybody knows that about me. When we sit a short moment, I'll definitely say something about Arabic language with you. And
No.
the early everything. I start with my family first. I have taught my siblings before even coming out to think of teaching anybody else. And so when
Right.
I'm giving you, it's what I've given to my siblings that I'm giving you. And so let's do well to all pay attention to studying Arabic language.
No.
When you learn it, I can assure you, if you don't enjoy the Quran, you don't enjoy your ibadah
No.
more, a billion times more than now. If you don't enjoy it a billion times more than now, come to me and take all, measure everything that it takes you to study it, and I'll give it to you.
No.
It's so interesting. So I
No.
would advise those who are not into it yet to get into it and start studying it. Those who are in
No.
it, now, those who are into it, studying it now, my advice to them will be that Arabic language is deep. You're already in it. Don't just suffice with just knowing some petty things that you are exciting yourself with. Try to
No.
go beyond the surface since you're already in it. Go deeper, and you find some very beautiful things in the Quran, in the Hadith. It will
No.
amaze you how it is so. Inshallah, on another chance, I will try to remove some of these beautiful things in the Quran to the extent that people can understand, and we would show them. Also, to teachers, anybody who is teaching in madrasa, please, you are holding a very big amana. No matter how the pay is, don't let it affect your teaching. The thing you are doing, try to teach them to your strength. Don't pose a mufti of Arabic if you are not. Because I've experienced people teaching things that are wrong, but because students they don't know, though they are at your mercy. If you teach them wrong, you are taking them off the road. If you teach them right, you are putting them on the road. And I don't think any teacher would want to take responsibility of pushing a lot of people to misguidance. So to the teachers, kindly let us do well to teach what we know, to teach
No.
what to the best of our ability we know is right. Kindly let us be sincere in our teachings and also be all out with it. The effort should be all out. I think this will be
No.
my advice for all of us, inshallah.
No.
No.
Thank you, Sheikh Muhammad Radwan As-Sabti, for your time,
Yeah.
and we ask Almighty Allah to bless you and to strengthen you in this work you are doing for the sake of Allah.
I mean,
Naam.
my
Naam.
father too, every other person's father, grant him respite.
Ameen,
Inshallah.
ameen, 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 ameen. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.